So with that out of the way, let's have a look at this new filter. So you're probably aware that there's been a long range of these external canister filters. The previous set, which has been running for a good few years now, was the 06 series. I've done reviews on those in the past, and then before that there was the 05 and so on. So this is the newest version, and immediately I can see there are some big differences in design of this filter. Now I haven't actually opened this filter yet. You can see the security seals are still on there, untouched. I haven't seen one of these, so together we're going to look at this filter and we're going to see what it's all about. Before I open the box though, let's have a look at the box and have a look at some of the stats and figures that this filter has. So this is the 207, there's a 107, there's a 307 and a 407. So this is kind of like the middle ground 07 filter. So this one does between 60 and 220 litres, which is actually quite interesting because this can actually support quite a small aquarium, which suggests to me that with the flow rate adjuster there, you can actually put this on quite a lot of different aquariums, because the problem with these kind of filters on a small aquarium is the fish get blown everywhere, but it seems that this one can actually be changed around. So we've got free media, a new kind of pump, and it's a lot quieter. We have the same sort of stuff on this one as the old range. We've got the aquastop valve, the lift clamps, the easy baskets, and a primer, but some of these bits look a little bit different to how they used to, so there's been a bit of a design change on this model. So this is the new motor that's inside of these filters. This is a different model to what is in the previous generations. You can see here that it's more efficient and more powerful. So that's one of the advantages of this new version of the filter, is actually efficiency on electricity. 10 watts, which is nothing. That's going to cost you $17 a year. If you're in Britain, that's probably about £14 a year. So insignificant amount of money really. 25% quieter. So the old ones had a slight hum to them. I never found them to be that loud. They had a slight hum, so that's going to be even quieter in this generation. And here's all the stats and figures for the entire range from the 107 all the way to the 407. You can see that with these pumps you can go all the way from a 40 litre aquarium up to the largest of a 500 litre aquarium, which I think in fact is bigger than the 406 used to be able to do. I think the 406 was rated to around 400, so that just shows the new efficiency of the filter and the new pump that's inside of it, because it can go up to a larger aquarium. So on the back of the box here you can see the internal layout of the filter. You've got a very similar design to the previous models, 3 media trays or possibly more depending on which model of filter you've bought, and then on the other side you've got your red slider with your foams in. And then there's some differences in the media. So you've got this spiky sponge in there, the biofoam, rather than the white sponges that used to be in there, and that's what you get inside the kit. So like the previous models, you get all your media, all your pipe work and fittings. It's a complete kit. There's nothing else that you need to go out and purchase. It is runnable from the minute that you buy it. So it's probably about time we actually take it out of the box and have a look at it. I'm actually quite excited to see this because I haven't seen them before. I've been waiting patiently to actually open this up and have a look with you. It's always good to share the experience of new things. So let's rip her open and have a look. Now I'm probably going to break this box, but it doesn't matter really, does it? We're interested in what's inside of the box. So, bit of foam. Lovely. Let's get her out of here, shall we? Actually, that bit of foam was really useful because it helps me mount my lighting rig, which is actually a Fluval Aquasky. So thanks Fluval for the foam. And now we'll have a look at the actual filter. It looks massively different to the previous generation. There isn't really much other than sort of the general shape and design of this filter. There isn't much that looks the same as the old version, completely remodeled. Inside of here as well we've got our pipes and fittings, so that's the same sort of thing that came with the old version, but we'll have a look. We'll open that in a second. And we've got our pipe work here, same sort of deal as well, ribbed pipe work, rubber ends on it, and in this box you get 2.5 meters. So what you do with this is you cut it in half, so you've got 1.25 meters going in and out of the aquarium. And then also we've got our manual, we've got our extended warranty. So lots of companies are doing this now. Basically you get a certain amount, so on this one we've got 3 years guarantee as standard, and then when you register online you get an extra 2, and then some help and care guides if you get a fault with your product. So that's the paperwork side of things. Let's get on to the interesting stuff, which is actually the filter and how it all works and all the gubbins inside of it. So I'll leave the fittings for a minute and we'll just have a look at the filter, because there's lots here to discuss. There's lots that has changed. It's very different. It's a lot more angular than I remember the last ones being, but I don't mind it actually. It's different. It looks more, I don't know, I'm going to say space age. Let's say it looks a bit more space age than the previous generations. On the bottom we've got these rubber little feet here. They weren't on the 06 range, attached by screws, so that's obviously for stopping the filter from slipping around, helping it to have more of a stable footing in your tank. Also, I suppose what it will do is if you get a leak, it will stop the water from accumulating underneath the filter, allowing it to dry and not get wet. The next thing that is different are the clips here. They have changed a bit. They still do the same job though. The next thing that strikes me as being very different is the priming handle. Now on the old models, what used to be on here was like a little mushroom primer. Now they used to snap and break and things like that. So on this one, rather than the little mushroom, we've got this priming handle, I guess. It's got a little grip there for your thumb to go over, so I assume the operation is supposed to be 2 fingers and a thumb like that, and then you just push it up and down. It feels a little bit more solid than the previous design, and I feel like it's actually an easier way of priming, because before you had to really grasp it with your fingertips and it kind of wasn't a very nice thing to do. So I'm going to have a look at the fittings now, because I want to just get this out of the way before we actually get into the meat of this filter. Now if you've had a Fluval filter before, you should be fairly familiar with what you get. Don't run away from me. Let's have a look then. So we've got these clips, so they're your pipe clips, so they sit over the edge of your aquarium. I really like the fact that you get these in your kit when you buy a Fluval filter. With other filters, what you tend to get is like a shepherd's crook thing out of hard plastic, which works really well in its own way, but I prefer these kind of fittings. Also, you know, they're really useful as well. If you don't want to use these on your filter, then you can use them actually to put your pipe through when you're doing a water change. Just another reason why these are really useful little bits. So the next part is your aquastop valves. Slight difference in design there, I think. So initially what I can see is this handle has a change in design. It's got a little grippy part here and an upward end to it. That wasn't on the old model. And that just fits in there, and then you slot it down using the red tab. And then this grey tab here, also a change in design. It's got this grippy end to it, so it looks like there's been some tweaks with just usability on this filter. Some things that probably became issues in the old style filter they've looked at and redesigned. And then we've got our ducts bill. This is slightly different in that it's all black. They used to be clear. I didn't really like the clear ones because you could actually see all the algae inside of it, and it also promoted algae because when things are clear, light gets into them and algae grows. So this one's black, so I assume the reason is it's black to stop the algae from growing, and that pivots and turns and allows you to adjust your flow in whichever direction you like. So you've also got your gasket as well, so that needs to be fitted before you get this filter up and running. If you don't do that, the water is going to come out of the seal here. We've got some little suction cups, another suction cup here with a clip on it, so that will allow you to put your pipes where you want them. Along with that, you've got your intake pipe. So this is the same design as the previous models. It hasn't changed from what I can see. You've got a 3-part little weir system there with a ball inside, and then you've got your tube, which is obviously where the water flows up through. The only difference again is it is a black colour, which stops the algae from growing inside of it. So you know, just a little tweak. Little tweaks here and there is what improves things over time. So it's now time to have a look inside of the filter, and it's done the same way as the previous models. Clips down, and then on this one, I'm not sure if the old ones did this, I can't remember now, but when you push this clip down, it actually releases the head unit there. Probably did it on the old one, but I just don't remember. And inside of this, we've got the same design as the previous models. You've got your head unit there with your motor in it, so that's where your impeller is. Easily accessed, that's the impeller. Different colour impeller on this one, a red rotor on it. The little impeller stick comes out, so obviously this can be changed if it breaks. I mean, they do occasionally break. If it does, then all you need to do really is replace that. And then this bit here is connected to the priming handle, so when you pump the priming handle up and down, that's basically a little one-way valve there that allows you to create some sort of suction inside. So inside of the filter now, we've got our trays. Now, interestingly enough, the trays are grey. They used to be white, I think, so a bit of a colour change there. And then we've got our red slider here. I think the design of the handle is slightly different, but the same sort of idea as the previous models. Now, we've got this little red slider here, which holds the sponges and the media. So I think it looks the same as the previous generation. I mean, I wish I had one here to sort of compare it to, but it does the same job. So in the 06 model and the 05 as well, and probably the 04 too, you had this kind of layout here with the sponges on both sides and then a little thing that you pull in and out. One thing that's different though is the actual media that's in them. On that side, not so much. That's what they used to have. On this side, very different. We've got this, I think technically it's called biosponge or something like that, but it's got that in it. So the reason why it's dimpled like this is it gives you a larger surface area for biological activity. Now previously, this whole thing used to be just mechanical filtration really, because they had these white sponges in there, but now it seems like we've cut down on the mechanical filtration and added a little bit more bio, which is probably why the filter can go up to a little bit higher than they used to be able to. But that's just speculation. It might just be they've retested the new pump and it's more able to deal with a higher flow rate and yada yada yada. But either way, the sponges have changed. Now let's have a look inside of here. So it's the same design in general terms. That's not the same design, that's different. Right, we'll explore that in a second. So we've got a tray on top. This is different for some reason. So we've got carbon. Now one thing people forget to do, which always makes me laugh with these kind of filters, is they don't unpack the media. They just run it like this and they wonder why it doesn't work. So obviously unpack your media. So we've got carbon in that tray. And then we've got this red handle. Oh, hang on, I'm being stupid again. Wait a minute, here we go. So, take the lid off, and then with this lovely red handle, which is brand new, you can lift out your whole tray. Now, previously you had to sort of put your hand under and scoop it out or lift one tray out at a time, but with this handle you can do the whole lot at once. Very clever. So we've got the 3 trays, biomedia in that one, as I mentioned, carbon in that one. See, unpack your media. And in the bottom tray we have got fine filters and some more sponges. Bio sponge, I think that one is. I mean, looking at what you get with it, just bear in mind that this is a completely customizable filter. So if you find that the media that comes with it isn't really what you want, or you want to change it, I mean, I don't tend to use carbon, so I'd probably change that for something, then Fluval have got this huge range of different options for you all up the side here. So probably, personally, I would change out the carbon for something like the ammonia, the zeolite ammonia remover, or some more bio balls or something like that. So fully customizable. You can pretty much do what you like with them. It's just you get this media for free anyway, so you might as well use it, and then when the carbon runs out in a month or something like that, you can change that for whatever you like. So one bugbear about external filters is how long they take to maintain, take apart and put back together. So let's see how long it takes me to put this filter back together, one-handed in fact. So I don't have an advantage on this one because I've only got one hand. But let's have a look. Now, using that handle, very handy handle, and then like that, that goes like that, and that goes over. Okay, one-handed is harder, but let me just show you. I can do it with one hand. What's that? 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not even that. this filter is incredibly easy to maintain and actually operate as an aquarium filter. Now, I'm going to be doing another video or two on these actually. In the next video I'm going to be doing setting these up. So obviously this review is based around first impressions and what's in the box, and let's have a look at what's changed and things like that. But in the next video we're going to actually be getting this wet. We're going to be looking at the flow rates and things like that. Also, in a couple of weeks from the date of this video, I will be having a special announcement around these filters, so make sure you stay tuned to my channel to hear that. I'm not going to say anything now, but you don't really want to miss out on this one. Unless you're watching in the year 2020 or 2022 or something like that in the future, you've already missed out, sorry. So, thank you for watching. I hope this video has been useful. I hope you've enjoyed a new look at some new technology that's just come out. If you want to see more of this kind of content, please remember to like my video and subscribe to this channel. Thanks once again for watching, and happy fish keeping!